Colin, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Unmute. Tell folks who don't know where you are what's on your mind for Aaron.
Hi, I'm calling from Tallahassee, Florida. And this past election was the first that I was old enough to vote in, but I went to Trump's first inauguration and then again this year, and so I've been a longtime supporter of him. And I've been a longtime fan of yours, watching you on the circus. You've always been my favorite journalist. But
Very, very, very nice of you. Thank you, sir.
On the Epstein stuff, this is the first time so far in the administration that I've been just like disappointed. Like I cringed watching him respond. I think he was in the cabinet meeting
Yes,
when
sir.
he interjected with Pam Bondi. I didn't understand. Like he's got to understand from his base perspective. And I mean, maybe JD Vance needs to go talk to him because he's been talking about this a lot. But it just seems like he completely missed the mark on where people are at and why people are upset about it. And I just think if he were, to call and ask, what should I do? Just let it all out. Like,
Yeah. Colin, let me ask you this. I consistently find anecdotally, and you're another data point here, that young people seem particularly passionate about this. Do you have a thought about why young people find it so important that there be transparency on this matter?
I think it's just on this and everything else from, the Iraq war to the financial crisis to COVID. It just feels like we're constantly being lied to and like being told, don't believe your lying eyes, we know better. Just, just the constant lying. It seems like this is just another example of that.
All right, that's going on social media in about 2 seconds. So very well said. Is this something you talk about with your friends?
Oh yeah, often since high school. I mean, it's like it's also the running joke, like Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, but it's also a very like consistent topic of conversation.
And do you find it to be as equal amongst males and females, how much concern there is about these issues?
Um, so I'd say more so men, but actually I was at work today and a coworker of mine who is my age as well, she brought it up to me. She's like, "What do you think of this?" Like, and she had been looking into it. So I think it's kind of just across the spectrum.
Yeah. Last one for me, and then Aaron may well have some questions. Um, the lack of disclosure troubles you, and you connected it to the financial crisis, COVID, et cetera. Do you have sort of a unified theory here? Is this elites taking care of themselves? Like what connects all those things for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think elites as a broad term covers it, but I mean, it connects to like with turmoil. It's just the same people staying in power longer and longer and just only there to protect themselves. And it just seems like you see a pattern. Just, I guess elites covers it, but yeah, like they're not looking out for us. They're just trying to, look out for their next election or their friends that are keeping them there.
Yeah, you're speaking for tens of millions and doing it so articulately. I'm really grateful to you, Aaron. Questions for
I will say I'm also a young white guy. Curious, what if you had like a dream for Trump to do in the next 6 months, next year and a half? What would it be? Not Epstein related, just generally. Like what's the issue that if he could solve tomorrow, like that's why you voted for him?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I think he's doing a lot of work on immigration, but I would like to see like some permanent changes that can't be undone by an executive order because I think that was, or at least should be the major lesson from the first term is how quickly things can be turned around. And you're not always guaranteed to come back in power to clean it up the next time. So I'd like to see, like the wall get finished and some reform around immigration. I know that they just put a lot of funding in there, but that doesn't really solve the problem. It's just a band-aid.
are there any Democrats on the national stage who you find appealing?
Um, John Fetterman, I like anybody. I was a fan of Tulsi when she was running in the Democratic primary because she didn't seem afraid to like speak her mind and to just say the truth, common sense. So John Fetterman's one of them.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else. I like Josh Shapiro. He's another one who seems like he can build a consensus.
Uh-huh.
There's something about Pennsylvania, but
Yeah. And just go back to the first thing you talked about. Is this some people are saying to me, well, yeah, people are talking about this now, that Jeffrey Epstein lack of disclosure, but people will move on. Will you move on from this as other things come up, or is this potentially at least going to cause a rupture between you and the MAGA movement or the president or the administration?
I don't know that it would cause a rupture in like my politics because it's not like I trust the other side or really anybody else to handle it any better. But that was actually something I did want to ask is what do you think this will affect 2028? Because I can see it being a big issue in the Republican primary. And I don't know about the general, but I do definitely think it's going to stick around. I mean, it
Yeah.
has for the past 4 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very humble and that's not the word I'm looking for. I have a lot of humility. about my understanding of this, because I wanted to do a focus group today of people your age. You're under 30, right?
But yeah, 21.
Yeah, I wanted to do a focus group today of people your age. Couldn't quite pull it together, but there's a resonance to this that I am respectful of. But I don't know how big it is or how much it will sustain. And I did my monologue today on Next Up about Donald Trump's decision making, and one of the things I reported out is most politicians that make a decision, they're kind of done with that topic. Donald Trump will change his mind a million times just on tariffs alone, right? He's had 42 positions in 40 days. He could change his mind on this, and so I don't think when you say impact 28, like I think by 28, even though he won't be on the ballot, I think he'll have refined his position if the electorate demands it. I just don't know whether the demand will sustain, but I have huge respect for the point of view you represented and the large number of people who share your point of view. I just don't know that it's going to sustain as a political issue, whether the president changes his position or not. Maybe it will. I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying I'm confident about where this is headed as a sustained political issue. Aaron, any thoughts on my ramblings?
I agree with you. I mean, we're a year and a half away from the start of the 2028 election, the primaries, January 2027. We're 3 years away from November 2028. The news cycle moves so fast. We're in 24/7 news cycle. This will be a non-issue by the end of the year.
Maybe I'll say one more thing about it. Maybe I can muster up a little bit more articulate the way you were, because Colin, you really were so articulate about it. The passion with which you spoke about it and the through line you see between this and some of the other big issues like COVID and financial crisis, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing out of your voice, but it's a powerful thing as I've talked to others about it, and as I see, and to have Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly and other people with big national platforms speak as you do about it. There's something going on here. There's something big going on here. And I don't know where it's headed or how big it is even now, but it's big and it's important. The honoring the victims and making sure that they are treated as well as possible is big, no matter what. But when you think about what does this mean about our culture, our society, our politics, our government, the future of MAGA, there's a lot here that I think needs to play out. But I'm very respectful of how emotional people are in a positive way about it, in the sense of they feel super strongly, and grateful for you joining. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.